Niye honagaje, niye honagaje, niye honagaje, honagaje. Hora tabwichara tinske ehaya pinkshe honagaje niye honagaje honagaje niye honagaje hey honagaje ne honagaje honagaje hora chabwichara chenske ehaya pinkshe honagaje niye honagaje honagaje. Iza kishina hikaragi we know ege mogisagaga higare now. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you here today to our presentation of the Native American dance and singers and dancers of the Wisconsin Dells. Singers and dancers. I'd like to first start off with some of the first song that I sang is a love song. In my mother's tribe, the Meskwaki Nation, it's one of their songs. And it's about an old man who lost his wife, and he's singing about how sad he is. And so that's what that song mentions. The Ho-Chunk Nation, Ho-Chunk means big voice, sacred tongue. Our origin comes from a place called Mogashush, up in the northern regions of Wisconsin. Mogashush means red banks. The town now is called Green Bay, home of the Green Bay Packers. And so this particular spot is where the Creator put us down and breathed life into us. This is where the Ho-Chunks come from. We are very honored to be here. My English name is Elliot Funmaker Sr. My father was Ken Funmaker Sr., and his father was Harry Funmaker. We all come from the Bear Clan of the Ho-Chunk Nation. Bear Clan is in charge of all the policemen in the tribe. Our duties are to enforce anything that our tribal chief wants us to do. Our tribal chief at this time is Clayton Winishik. And so we have a lot of duties. Not only that, we have to survive in this world. So we live in two worlds. And today, we're going to show you just a small portion of our culture. And we want each and every one of you kids here today that are presently watching this to take note. Quit talking to each other and listen to what I'm telling you. We're only going to say this one time. You're only going to have this little time to learn something that you can learn. And so, with that said, it is an honor to be here today, to have you in front of us. And the Madison area, it's called Dejop, one of the four sacred lakes, where the capital now sits, is where our tribal government was at. So when the people that came over here, they picked our spot, our governed spot, and they put their own capital in there. So that's the story of this capital here. And so it is always customary that the Ho-Chunk Nation honors each and every one of you that are here today. With doing that, we bring out our dancers, single file, and we show them, each one of you guys, how the different dance categories and the difference between the male and the female. So at this time, it is our pleasure to present the grand entry. Thank you for that round of applause. Again, going with Ho-Chunk tradition, we are going to be going into our flag song. The Ho-Chunk Nation comes from a warrior clan and the different people that fight in these different battles that we had to go through. In the beginning, we had a flag made out of eagle feathers, and we would carry that in. And so the Ho-Chunk Nation has different flags nowadays. We also have the stars and stripes. So at this time, Wisconsin Dells Singers will render one of our Ho-Chunk flag song. Again, keeping with Ho-Chunk tradition, it is always customary that we honor our veterans. Without our veterans, we would not be able to celebrate our freedom. Some of our veterans went overseas, did not come back. This song is for all of our veterans. One of our Ho-Chunk veteran songs. Ho! Thank you. At this time, it is always customary that we have the friendship dance. We would have our dancers go around in two separate circles, the men going one way, the women going the other way. This represents the peace, the love, and the friendship. The friendship dance, aha! Got to be in shape to do all of this stuff, that's for sure. We're going to be going into our first dance category, Ho-Chunk Women Applique. I got my wife up here, Mary. We're going to talk about her regalia. We don't like to use the term costume. A regalia is what we would normally be wearing if the Europeans did not come around here. So, at this time, I'm going to talk about her feather up here. Her feather comes from the golden eagle, comes from the tail. We get our feathers from the government. We fill out a 3,000-page report. We send that in, and then they approve it, and then they send it to us in the mail. So we don't go out and shoot any eagles. We also get our feathers, this style, from our male relative who has been in actual combat. This particular one feather represents the life of an enemy taken during the Vietnam era. So the red tip up there signs that it was taken during the battle. And so Mary got this feather from her uncle. And so go ahead and turn around. She's got the very beautiful barrette in the back there, and you'll see that it's beaded. She's also got her ribbon back there, and she's got a hair wrap, which has different kinds of German silver on there, beadwork on there, very traditional. And then she's got this beaded part here, which is called a pache, and it's all hand stitched. There's no needles involved. Go ahead and turn around. She's got her blouse on there, and then she's got her necklace, her brooch over here, and then she's got her beads, her bone necklaces, and then she's got her earrings. Got different styles going on there. Got beadwork and all kinds of beautiful look. A lot of bling going on there. So it's all dolled up here. And then she's got her eagle fan over there. And that's to keep herself cool here when she's dancing away. Then she's got a yarn belt. And you'll see that. They wear it on the side over there. And then the applique itself is made from a design. Let's take, for instance, a rose, and they'll put that rose, and then they'll put the mirror effect on it, and they'll put it down in a panel there. The panel will go down, then the design will go around. And so this is a very traditional style. And then so she gets her applique panel designs from her mother, her grandmother, her aunt, her sisters. They all help out with her regalia. Mary done a lot of her own. She's got her purse over here, and I'm pretty sure she's got her cell phone in there, so if you see her, put a like on there and can kind of get going. She's got some plain style moccasins going on here, very beautiful. So at this time, Mary's going to show you the different way how to dance Ho-Chunk women applique, and she's going to be doing a scrubbing action. She's going to keep close to Mother Earth. She's the life giver. We give her all the respect. At this time, the Ho-Chunk women applique. Ho! That brings us up to our next category, women's fancy shawl. Destiny here is going to be a junior this year over at Sauk City High School. And what she's been on this ever since that she could walk, doing all the dancing. And so the women's fancy shawl is a fast action, high endurance dance. The drumming's going to be faster. They're going to be going at a rate of speed so fast that she might get stopped for speeding. And so, what's saying that? Her regalia. Up on top, she's got her eagle plumes. Go ahead and turn around. She's got her barrette back there. And then she's got her beaded yoke here. And her father over here did all the beading over here. Go and turn back around. And then she's got earrings there. And then she's got her hair braided. And they got them wrapped up. And she's got her beadwork there. And all of the beadwork, she's got a headband on there. And then she's got her necklace. And then she's got her dress. She's got a lot of beautiful, a lot of nice looking design going on there. She's got her belt. And then her beaded boots on the bottom there. And then she's got her moccasins that are also beaded. So everything's pretty much matching there. Go ahead and turn around and see her shawl in the back there. So she's going to be going at a high rate of speed. So at this time, we present the women's fancy shawl. Huh. Did you get tired just watching her? Destiny sure danced up a storm. And it's really hard to do this virtual stuff here without a live audience here. So it's very tough on us. So at this time, we're going to be asking our head dancer to come on out, Mr. Bryson Funmaker. Mr. Bryson Funmaker is a 2020 high school graduate from the Wisconsin Dells High School. And they got their season cut short in basketball, but they had just won their sectionals and they were going into the finals before this culvert stuff kind of hit full blast. So he's kind of going to be showing you how he takes things. And so just like everything else, how we take everything on the chin and we live to fight another day. And we're going to go into the Northern Plains traditional. And so up on top, we're going to talk about his regalia. Up on top, feathers up there. We told you how you get your eagle feathers. You get them from your male relatives. He's got on what they're called head roach. And the head roach is made out of porcupine guard hair. The red stuff that you see right here comes from the white-tailed deer. Everything is dyed. It's woven into one headpiece. Then we have a roach spreader that goes up on top, and it has strings there, and they tie it on. And that's how you keep it on. And then he has his headband, and then he's got his ear in there, and he's got some war paint. He's got a necklace there, and then he's got some beadwork. He's got a breastplate there. That breastplate is a form of body armor. You know, if they went into battle, that would be his only defense to protect them from shield or from hatchets, knives, and arrows. And so those will kind of help him out. Then he's got his belt going on there, and then he's got his side drops. They're all beaded. He's got his breechcloth going on there, and then he's got his beaded leggings there, and then he's got his bells. His angoras, they come from a goat there, and then he has his beaded moccasins. And so he also has his armbands, and then he's got his beaded cuffs there, and then he's got his fan and his dance stick. His dance stick would be used in battle. Sometimes a lot of people would have hatchets, spears. This guy, particular dance stick, would be for counting coup. So this guy was so brave that he would go up to the enemy, beat him up, and then he would let him live by touching him. And that's what that stick is there for. And so instead of wiping a guy out, he would humiliate him even more by letting him live. And so go ahead and turn around. So he's got a bustle in the back there made of eagle feathers there, and you'll see the different styles on the bottom there. He's got his trailer going on there, and you'll see the different style of ball eagle feathers. So he's going to be dancing what is called a sneak up, and he's going to be showing you different ways that he would dance, and then he would show you how he would go into battle when he's fighting the enemy. So at this time, the sneak up. Ahoo. grass dancers play an important role in our circle here. The circle that we use here is the dance arena. The Hinduska Circle, it means a hard way of life. And so, in order to come out here, you have to be able to pay for your way in here, as providing gifts, putting on a meal, having the medicine man come out here and talk for you to allow you into our arena. The grass dancers are the first ones that are coming to our arena. There would be 4 of them before the event would happen. The medicine man and the 4 dancers, and then the drum would come out here. The medicine man would lay tobacco on the ground here and ask the Creator for good days and good things that happen within our circle here. And so the grass dancers would come in there and dance on the grass and pound it down and get it ready for dancing. Back then, we didn't have no lawnmowers, so these guys were in charge of the arena. And so these guys would have to have good frame of mind and a clear understanding about the Creator and the way you present yourself. This is the way of the grass dancers. So at this time, grandson here is going to show you how that is done. So Damon's got his regalia here, the grass dancers. And back in the day, the grass dancers would use the porcupine quills, and they would cut those down, and they would put them in a fashion where they would sew them onto a regalia to make a design by painting them and putting them all together on beadwork. Nowadays, we got beadwork going on here, and then you'll see a different style. He's got his feathers up on top. Those are called spinners. And then his head roach, then his headband. He's got the loops around his eyes. He's got the long beaded bangs here. And then you'll see a beaded necklace there. And he's got a beaded breastplate. All kinds of beautiful looking designs on there. And then he's got the different fringe going on here. And so he's got his belt made out of leather that's beaded side drops, his breechcloths, and then he's got, he's also got these very beautiful looking designs on his leggings here. And then he's got his bells, his Angora goat hair, and then he's got his moccasins. And then he's also got his dance sticks there. And so the way that he's going to be dancing like a blade of grass will be blowing in the wind. And so these guys here come from out west. And so at this time, we present the men's grass dance. Huh. That brings us up to our last category, the Woodland Style. The Woodland Style is what I have on and the 2 grandsons have on here. You'll see the different styles. Come over here, one on this side. This guy's a little rookie here, so he's gonna be dancing up a storm for you guys. Guy's got the otter turbans, got beadwork on there. It's got part of a porcupine roach part up here. Got some German silver up there. Got a choker on there. Got a beaded choker here. Got bear claws here, elk tooth. He's got an elk medallion over here, and then he's got beaded side basket holder over here, and then got the yarn belt going on there, and then the bridge cloth, and then the leggings styled that have the trade cloth on there. The bells are on there, and then he's got the different garters on here, and then bottom. This guy's, I think he's got Nikes on over here, and then we got beaded moccasins on over here, and then got a fan, and then we have, hold up your fan, show off your stuff, and then we got a shield going on there, a war club. Got your war club there? Yeah, tomahawk going on there. And then, so these guys are going to show you different ways on how to do the woodland style. This particular dance is from this area over here. So at this time, the woodland. Ahoo.
This next dance that we're going to showcase here is called the hoop dance. The hoop dance originated actually with the Native Americans in Canada, and then a Native American from the United States here brought it down in 1942. His name was Tony Whitecloud, and the hoop symbolizes the never-ending circle of life, having no beginning and no end. Each dance is individual as the person who choreographs it. Some dancers mimic animals, birds, and the world in elaborate sequences of moves. The hoops are made to interlock in such a way that they can be extended from the body of the dancer to form appendages such as wings and tails. And here's Destiny Whitecloud to do the hoop dance.
It's been a pleasure doing our performance. Before we go, I want to talk about the drum. The drum is very important. As you can see, the drum is round. Represents Mother Earth. The drum, when you hear it, sounds like the heartbeat of Mother Earth. In order to become a singer, you must first have a native Indian name. Then you become a dancer. And then through all of these different dance types that you go through all of them. Myself, I've been through all of them. I remember when I was young that I had a loaded diaper and I was dancing around. My diaper would hang on the ground and I still danced. And as I grew up, I kind of liked to eat, so I became a traditional dancer. And I used to go to all the McDonald's, Hardee's, and all these places and eat. And so after I couldn't dance anymore, I became a singer. And now I can barely sing, so I'm an announcer. So the next time, I'm going to be sitting out there with you guys. So that's the life of a performer. The singer has to know all of these songs, how to keep in drumming, keep in beat. And so at this time, I want to introduce Wisconsin Dells singers. Justice Green. The head singer today, Mr. Gabriel Funmaker. Our head female dancer today is Mrs. Mary Funbaker. Our head male dancer, Mr. Bryson Funmaker. Mr. Damian Funmaker. Rylan Funmaker. And the little guy, Bear Funmaker. Finally, our last dancer, Miss Destiny Rain Whitecloud. I hope you enjoyed yourself today. We have a lot of stuff that we can talk about, but due to the time restraints that we have, that is all we're going to do at this time. So we're going to give you our last dance, which is called the Intertribal. If you guys want to get out there and dance by yourselves, you can join us in this dance as the Intertribal. Aho! Pinagigi.
Please welcome Elliot and Mary Funmaker to your screen to answer your questions about today's presentation. So it looks like we already have a few questions. The first question is, how long does it take to make some of the regalia?
I guess I'll take that one. Depends on what you're asking about. If you're asking about the female dancers, for example, the regalia that I wear which is women's ho chunk applique, it probably takes at least a week to make the skirt. And then when you got the shirt, that's probably about a day's worth. Takes a couple days to string up the beads. Moccasins, they can take anywhere from 1 to 2 days, so it takes a while. It's time consuming and it's a slow process. For the female fancy dancer, hers is very time consuming. She wears like an applique design on her shawl and then on the front of her dress, so that's probably a couple days there, 3 or 4 days. But she wears beaded boots and moccasins, and of course this cape that she wears. So you're looking at anywhere from 1 month to 2 months just to bead that. And the regalia she wears is quite expensive. She's probably got a couple $1,000s worth in the beadwork alone. So the men's, it's
For the guys, it's more time consuming. Like the war bonnet that I had took over a month and a half to make, and so the beadwork, the bandolier bag I had, that's quite. That probably takes between a month to 6 months. The moccasins were beaded, so that's probably another month there. And then everything is, like a lot of stuff is done during the winter. And then, so it's really time consuming. So every dancer has different time amounts that they have work on it.
One other thing I wanted to mention is the regalia that you see everyone wearing, it's not something that you can just walk into a department store and purchase or whatever, or go to Amazon, that type of thing. It's all handmade. So.
The next question is, where do you find your porcupine quills?
The porcupine quills, normally, because of the length of them, a lot of them come from the west, Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Washington. These areas tend to have the larger porcupines.
Next, how long does it take to memorize the songs?
The singer has to have pretty good memory, and it just doesn't happen overnight. You have to work at it. First of all, you gotta get the melody down, and then you gotta get the words down, and then you gotta get the beat down, and then you gotta be able to sing with the drummers. And so all of that takes time. So it doesn't happen overnight. For me, I started when I was, 2 years old, 3 years old. And so I'm 58, so I've been going at it all these years. And it takes quite a while. And I was already singing on a drum when I was 6 years old. So it took, 4 years just to get that part down.
The next question is, why is drumming so important for the dancers and your performance?
Again, it's the heartbeat. Without a drum, we wouldn't be able to have any doings in the arena, the Hinduska Circle. So it's really important to have that drum in order for these dancers to dance to.
The next two questions I'm going to combine. How long does it take to learn the dance, and how did you learn the dances that you showed us today?
Learning a dance is pretty much like anything. When you're learning a sport, you're learning to sing, you're learning to read by repetitiveness. When you do something consistently over and over and over, you get better and you learn the song. So that's kind of the same thing with the dancers that you see here. All of these young people and the little guy, they started dancing pretty much when they could start walking. And of course, what you do is you have the older children will help the little guys and keep track of them and show them steps. And again, hearing the songs over and over again, then they pick up the beat and pretty much pick up the dance steps. By the time they start getting to 10, 11, 12, they've got it. And then they sometimes will switch their dance category. So I don't know, Elliot, you got anything else to add?
Yes. So as I stated before, as soon as I could walk, I started doing both. And back then, we weren't asked to do things. We were told to do things. And my grandfather and my father, both on both sides, were performers. And I was born in Chicago, and we moved to Iowa, then moved up here to Wisconsin. And so all of those years that we were performing. And so on both sides of our family, my mom's side and my dad's side were performers. And so it takes we learned a lot while we was doing our shows, and we did the different dance styles. We also sang. And so these things, I guess you never stop learning.
Okay, the next question is, how did Destiny hold all those hoops together? And I'll add my question on there too. How long has she been working on the hoop dance?
Well, in all honesty, Destiny has only been doing the hoop dance for probably about 6 months. And she practices, I'd say, 5-6 days a week, including during all this heat wave and things like that. So she's fairly new to it. She started off learning just the basics. She already knew how to dance, so that was helpful when she got started. And then she got the hoops. She got a hoop dancer to show her some of the routines and how you hold the hoops and things like that. And so basically it was just practice, practice, practice. And she hopes to excel at it. And of course, I think she's got a good start. So, but again, she's only been at it like 6 months, so she's fairly new to it.
And how she holds on to her hoops very carefully.
The next question kind of goes with the one before. Do you learn new dances, or are all the traditional dances that have been passed down?
The majority of the dances have been passed down, but again, they have changed over the years, and so some people just have that natural ability to dance, and sometimes they'll incorporate different steps that kind of make their style unique, and that's kind of what you see with our Wisconsin Dells Singers and Dance Troupe.
A lot of times when you're doing these different traditional dances, when the word traditional means that it's a form, like the Ho-Chunk Nation has that particular dance, such as the green corn dance, the swan dance. And these are just a couple of dances that we have that are our very own. And there's a certain style that you dance to. And then you have your individual competitions going on too, where you go into these different dance categories. And so you have to be able to stop on time, start, and be able to put these different dance moves in there to be the best, and your regalia has to be outstanding. So all of these things kind of count, and the only way that you can do that is to come to an actual live powwow.
The next question is the regalia hot?
Yes, it's hot, and it's heavy. For example, the regalia that you see Destiny wearing, That's heavy. One of the dancers we were missing today is our jingle dancer, and that probably weighs, it's a dress that has jingles on there, which are made out of snuff cans, and it has a unique sound to it, but the jingle dress can weigh anywhere from 10, 15, 20 pounds, depending on the amount of jingles that are put on it. And then, of course, when you've got beadwork, it's beads that have been sewn on top of leather, and so there is weight with some of the stuff. Same thing with the bandolier bags that you see on the male dancers. They weigh, they've got weight to them.
Yes, not only that, and when you're really dancing up a storm, you start sweating away there, and then that adds a weight to that too. And so when you're out and about, a lot of times, like a controlled environment's really awesome to dance in, but when you actually go to a live powwow, you do not get that. You dance out in there's no air conditioning, and it's the grounds can be hard or soft or slippery. You have to adjust to all of this stuff. So it is, like I said, it's really something to go live out on the powwow circuit.
And the next question is, what are each of your favorite songs?
That's a tough one. Since I dance Ho Chunk Applique, I should be saying yes, those are my favorites, but we have a couple other fun dances that I consider, like the crow hop, and there's a few in there where, you know what, I just like to sit and watch the others dance. I find it quite entertaining, but I don't necessarily dance that one, so I don't know what Elliot's is.
Since I'm a singer and my whole life is singing songs, I don't have one particular set, so like even if I'm just kind of walking around and it's really quiet around, I'll just start humming a song to myself, and I'll just like, geez, I remember back in 1976 when I was in Montana when this song was popular. And I really thought it was the bomb back then, and then, and you're in your own kind of little world and stuff like that. And so as you're kind of, even when I'm driving around, I turn the music on, and I hear, I'm very diversified in music, so I like all kinds of music, so that my love for music is all over the place, and I like it all.
Next question, what is the drum made of?
I made that drum about 7 years ago with another flute player from the Cherokee Nation. His name is Tommy Lee. And we made 3 drums, and it took us, a week and a half to complete them all. And they were started off, the one we were using is made out of walnut, and it's layers of it, and it was 3 drums, and we cut it 3 different times for the bass, and then we grabbed cowhide, and then it was a rawhide, and then we cut it in a circle, and we put holes in there, and then we bought string for it, and we put that in water, and then we laced it up, and then we let it dry, and there you have the drum.
And I think our last question is, how often do you dance in a live powwow? In a normal year, I'm assuming.
Oh, wow. This year, only once. But normally it would probably be 3-4 times a month, because most of the powwows would take place during the weekends or whatever. So, and of course we go to powwows during the summer, fall, winter, throughout the year. So quite a bit.
There are 3 different, powwow settings. One of them is a private setting where you have a graduation party or a wedding or maybe a birthday. And so you would dance there, you would set the drum up, and you would do everything tribal. And then the next one would be a traditional powwow where your tribe would have their own powwow. Like ours is, we have a traditional powwow up in Black River Falls, Memorial Day, 4th of July, and Labor Day. And we also have, and so these are when we do our tribal dances at that particular powwows, and they're free of charge, of course, at the Mitchell Red Cloud area up there. And so we also have a contest powwow in the Wisconsin Dells, and normally that would be next month. And so the contest powwows, here's the thing is that every weekend there's a powwow somewhere in the United States, Canada, and even in maybe Europe over there. And so some are traditional and some are contests. Most of the contests are very fierce competition there. And you'll see those all over, and they have thousands, hundreds of thousands of prize money. And so they're all over the place all the time.
Well, that wraps it up for us today for Lakeside Kids. I'd like to thank you for joining us. I'd also like to thank Elliot and Mary Funmaker for coming in and answering your questions, and also for putting on the amazing presentation. I'd also like to thank our AV staff here at Monona Terrace for all their help for putting on this program. See you next on Wednesday, July 29th for Lakeside Kids featuring the physics experience. Again, thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you next week.